About 2 or 3 times this year, Tyson Fury has boasted of his historical know-how, particularly used it as a platform to say how he is the lineal champion, the man who beat the man, a supposed unbroken chain that stretches right back to big John L. Sullivan. Well, as Anthony Joshua correctly pointed out recently in an interview I saw, he's like, no, it's not. Lennox Lewis retired. And he was quite right for pointing it out. In Queensberry rules, linearity has actually been broken a few times. Gene Tunney retired in 1928 after beating the New Zealander Tom Heaney, and Rocky Marciano retired in 1956. And each time the lineal champion exits, it has historically always created a bit of disarray. When Tunney retired, we had Schmeling, Carnera, Max Baer, guys were passing the title along. And then we had, when Marciano retired, we had a face-off between Patterson and Archie Moore. Patterson won, but during his first run as champion, a lot of people didn't really take him seriously and kind of cast him aside a bit when he did get wiped out by Liston, who a lot of people thought was the man. So lineal champions retiring does tend to very much weaken the division and leave it confused. Lennox Lewis retired in 04, having beaten Vitaly Klitschko in 03. Controversially or not, he won. I thought he was going to go on to win anyway, just that little extra there. But the confusing part was then, no lineal champion. Vladimir, yes, he went on to then prove he was kind of the top dog. Quizzically, he did actually end up beating better opponents than Vitaly. But the confusing thing was, although they were brothers and people felt they didn't have to fight for that reason, a lot of people, including myself, felt Vitaly was the better fighter, and purely on a head-to-head basis, because of his toughness, we thought, well, he's the man. On the strength alone of his war against Lewis, we thought he's the best. So a little bit confusing there, but I guess on the basis of Vladimir continuing on beating the main guys, getting most of the belts, you could say a new linearity was kind of formed there. And then yes, Tyson Fury did beat the top dog, a man who hadn't been beaten in 10 years. It was a big deal, and as I say, I do believe linearity can be built up again after a period of time. If you look back at the one after Marciano retired, from Patterson to Lewis, you did have an unbroken chain of linearity right there, even though it's a bit of an oxymoron. But all those celebrated figures, some of boxing's most celebrated and impressive greats, all from Patterson from what, late 50s up to 2003, you can trace the linearity, and that does mean something. So the likes of Eddie Hearn trying to cast it away as like a non-title, that's not true, and linearity can be built up again. Otherwise, we just would have done away with it the first time it was broken. As things stand, yes, you could say Tyson Fury is the lineal champion of a pretty relatively new linearity. And the good thing is, it looks like he's here to give it another good go. He's got lots of juice left. And once himself, Wilder and AJ all mix it up, it should, whoever proves to be the best of this generation, it should ultimately strengthen this new linearity.